What's going on, everybody? Newsflash, newsflash, newsflash. It is a good day in Magic Land. First of all, because I'm pushing rank, as you can see, sitting on 1,400 and climbing ever higher. But second of all is because we've just had the ban and restricted announcement fresh off the printing press. And finally, I've just been sitting here laughing for like 10 minutes straight. Justice prevails, people. Freaking finally. Oh my goodness. Divide by Zero, ALRUN'S Epiphany, banned from Standard. Bye-bye. Faceless Haven, I couldn't care less. Like, wasn't a huge problem to me. But Divide by Zero and ALRUN'S Epiphany, gone. Whoo! The only bad news about this is that it's effective from the 27th. So we've got to wait 2 more days for this to actually happen. But this is going to change everything. I believe this is a perfectly well thought out. I don't see why like any other cards that would deserve it. This is what I would have picked. So finally, Wizards did something well, in my opinion. As far as Legacy and Historic, it doesn't affect me any which way, but I believe that people are pretty happy about this one in the Legacy, and then Memory Lapse and Teferi, Time Raveler, whatever. So yeah, effective from the 27th. Bye-bye, is it turns. I'm so happy. So let's read it quickly. In October 2021, ban and restricted update, we announced no changes to Standard in anticipation of Innistrad. Crimson Bar's release soon following. Since then, we've heard community feedback and there hasn't been enough change in the metagame over time. While a good number of decks are seeing success on the MTGA Arena ladders, and each has strengths and weaknesses against the others, the most played archetypes have remained largely the same over the past months. As such, we have set of changes targeted at some of the top decks, including Blue-Red Epiphany and other blue control decks, Mono-White Aggro and Mono-Green Aggro. Our goal is to create some churn among the current top decks and open up additional angles from which to attack the metagame and leave room for more experimentation and innovation with the release of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Oh my goodness, it's like, oh my god, it's like a dream come true. ALRUN'S Epiphany is a card we highlighted in the October announcement as having potential for negative impact on metagame diversity. While blue decks with powerful late game spells can sometimes do good work as natural predators of mid-range decks, which is true, a deck that chains together extra turns can be particularly difficult to stop and frustrating to play against when it presents too large a portion of the metagame. Couldn't have said it better myself. The foretell ability of the ALRUN'S Epiphany makes it even harder to interact with, as one of the traditional answers with Big Spell is Hand Disruption. Again, perfect. While not entirely dominant throughout the MTG Arena ladders, especially in Best of One, which is, again, perfectly true, ALRUN'S Epiphany's decks have been particularly popular and successful at the highest level of competition and tournament play. Very, very true. Like, ridiculous percentage of the total number of decks, be it Grixis or Izzet, as we saw at Worlds, was playing at least two or three copies of ALRUN'S Epiphany, if not 4. To create space in the metagame for more mid-speed and slow archetypes, and to address the often frustrating play pattern of chaining extra turns, ALRUN'S Epiphany is banned. Bye-bye, banned in Standard. Even without access to ALRUN'S Epiphany, our data gives us concerns that the blue control decks are poised to reduce metagame diversity by shutting out certain types of strategies, in particular Divide by Zero. This is like the Hullbreaker Horror Leah exactly here. They're going to lead into that by the looks of things. Gives those decks flexible early interaction that is especially effective against slower, more powerful spells and permanents. The ability of Divide by Zero to cover a variety of angles of attack frequently gives these decks enough time to to enact and protect powerful endgame softlock states, often using Leah, the Disciple of the Drowned, or Hullbreaker Horror. But man, this is the best article I've read from them in a long time as far as Standard is concerned, because this is really exactly the point. Like, already we were seeing the Izzet Epiphany decks with the dragons like fading off a little bit, and this Leah, Disciple of the Drowned, Hullbreaker Horror thing was just way worse. With ALRUN'S Epiphany on top of it. Therefore, we're choosing to ban Divide by Zero. make blue decks less effective against other mid speeds and slow decks and force them to be more intentional about which threats they choose to prepare for. Very nice. The most winning decks on MTG Arena Ladder and the most popular have been mono white aggro and mono green aggro, while each owes part of its success to preying upon blue-red Epiphany decks. Both decks also have high win rates against the field, especially against many of the less popular decks on the fringes. Faceless Haven represents a lot of the power of these monocolor aggro decks by virtue of being efficient on its own and providing resilience against creature sweepers and targeted removal. To weaken these two aggressive archetypes without fundamentally changing their core game plan, Faceless Haven is banned. Wow, this is a very, very... yeah, and then they go on to talk about Legacy and Historic, but I won't go and read that. You can have a look for yourselves. I'll leave a link to this article in the video description down below. But yes, best day of news ever. Rejoice. Bottles of champagne, fireworks. I will see you all tonight for some fresh brews. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace.